Hi, friends. Welcome back. Happy Thursday. I hope y'all are having a good week. I want to say first, thank you so much for booking with me, for your kind words. It means the world and it keeps me doing this. um, but here's what I was going to talk about today. So I always pray for the topic or I tune in and try to receive what topic I should talk about, but I don't, I'm not told what to say. I'm just like, what should I talk about today? And the last two Thursday videos I did, I got personal notes slash comments from people privately that said, that was exactly what I received in prayer, or that was exactly what I needed to hear. That was an answer to a very specific prayer. So that means the world because, um, yeah, we're just here together. Sometimes this week I've actually, especially today, I've been wondering, when are we going to just realize we're all here on this planet together? Wouldn't that be nice if we just decided to all realize that with one another? Um, and that goes back to the big dream I had about the globe in April. I don't have dreams like that a lot, but I saw all the humans, everyone on the planet holding hands over all the chaos, and it was so beautiful. So I'm holding that space right now. So in that vein, what I felt really guided to share about today is how to stay centered slash grounded or calm when the world is full of chaos or very confusing. This is just going to be, again, from my own experience. I'm not a psychologist. I just had a big spiritual experience that I've been thinking about ever since. It ended in 2008, and it really, really changed my life. Um, the number one thing that helps me stay calm and centered, and granted, sometimes life throws big curveballs at me and I go through like a lot of change really fast. That seems to happen to me kind of every few years. And I just have to be like, okay, okay, okay. But um, I have to do a daily practice. What I do every day is I do the light visualization where I bring white, golden light through my body from heaven and bring it all the way through my body down into the earth and back up. If you've had a session with me, I do that like every time. But it is very close to what I experienced where light came to me and basically cleaned out my whole system. So I didn't used to always do that, but now that I'm more aware and accepting of what happened to me, I basically have to do some kind of tuning in, checking in every day. Um, if I didn't, when I don't, because it's not, when I haven't, it's a mess. Like I feel like a mess. Not a mess, but it's just really hard. Like you can't look for your peace or your peace of mind to come from outside of you, especially if the world is confusing, like personally or collectively. Sometimes, you go through personal changes and you have to rely on what's within. And that would be in keeping with what happened to me. Like I had such a big a big trauma. And honestly, I was thinking this week as well, or last week, I had the big trauma when I was 13, but then Katrina happened in the fall of 2005. And almost like I feel like it was so much, my brain was just like, okay, God, and then I had this big spiritual experience. That was started in January 2006. So, I think, yeah, I think sometimes you just, if things aren't really working out for you in the physical world, whether it's, no matter, it doesn't matter whether it's big or small trauma, or like collective or personal, there's no really comparing trauma. It's just how it affects you. And I do believe we all have certain things we're here to do in our lifetimes or things we're supposed to go through. So sometimes those things can just kind of push down on us and create a spiritual experience or just require you to like hear your guidance. Because I've had other friends who went through a divorce really and were crying on the floor, and then they felt the voice come to them that said it's okay. These like very comforting, beautiful experiences. So that doesn't always happen. Okay, this wasn't the topic of the video. I'm getting off on a big tangent. But sometimes people have booked with me and wanted to know, how can I have a spiritual experience like what you have? Of course, I feel guilty because most of the time I was like, I just totally went nuts. Like I made all that up, which I know I didn't now. But I think sometimes if you're, it happens to people when you're at the lowest of your lows and you feel the presence, you feel love, and it pulls you out. But sometimes I think not if you're already actively interested in having, a relationship with the creator, God, like you don't always have those big experiences, I think, because you're already like, oh, I need that. Okay, thanks. And it doesn't need to be like this big boom thing. But Betty thinks that usually these kind of near death or spiritually transformative experiences are like part of a pre-birth plan, even though I do feel like mine was an accident. Like I've actually been one of my friends, the minister Dick Dingus, he was like, you need to go to like a pre in between life regression so you can see what your plan was. 'Cause I really think my plan wasn't this. That's why I get so confused. I think it was like I made a little detour when I was like, I just decided to heal at 23. I could have gone a totally different way, and it brought me to this. No, anyway. Um, okay, so back to the topic. Staying calm and centered during like difficult times. So definitely bringing in, I have to do the light visualization. I will post that. That's how I get every message that I receive for my book and for Instagram and Facebook. So just I'll link the video that I made for YouTube. It's not like great, well edited, but if anyone's an editor and wants to make it way prettier, let me know. Because I would love help making it better. I just did my best with what I normally do. Um, and you can do that. You can do a longer or shorter version. You can do a totally different kind of prayer or meditation practice. You'll know what's right for you. Um, and it'll be, whatever helps you feel, oh, there's the peace. Like how I feel that again. You know, other things that help me right now. I have to get enough sleep. That seems super basic, but if I don't get enough sleep, I'm like also a mess. So definitely making sure you have like good sleep practices. That's really important, and good food and diet. And I know there's people around the world suffering that don't have that. And so sending love to that. But it's if you're just watching this and you're trying to stay balanced during all the crazy things happening on our planet, just definitely you know, take care of yourself, like shower. When I was really, really depressed before I started healing, I didn't know how to like shower the right, like I was right before I started healing a lot. It was hard for me to take care of my body properly, but I was young too. So that's really important. Showering, sleeping, food, nutrition, supportive relationships. So being around supportive people and friends, you'll know what is supportive for you because they'll see you exactly for who you are and care about the real you, not a you that is pretend or presented. So that's really important. And since I started sharing my story, I've had some friends that I've had my entire life. They don't care, or they're like, this is great, awesome, amazing. And, some friends aren't that into it. I think, and then I've also met new friends. So I don't know, when you align with being your real self, other people can find you. So I've actually have found in the last couple of years since I started sharing my story in 2023, just 2 years ago, I found friendships that are just, actually really, really real. Even if some friends don't really fit with it and they're just not into it. I've not nobody said anything, but some people I think are just like, okay, what are you doing? Oh. But now I have like friends like Betty and Jay Clay and all my friends at Ions and all the friends in Denver, like, it's people that like are into what I'm actually into because I kept this private and secret for so, so long. And I think that's part of why I keep getting bookings with people who keep this stuff private and secret because I lived that vibration. I lived that world for a long, long time. I'm glad my secret wasn't like a really bad secret. It was a secret that I'd had a beautiful spiritual experience. But now that, I get to hold space for people that are like, hey, I have this too. What do I do? Um, but I can tell you on the other end, it's like really nice to come clean about such a beautiful thing. The spiritual awakening, spiritual experience with God, creator, source. It's, people can finally see me and like I can actually fit with people that resonate and thankfully most of my real friends are like, oh yeah, okay. weren't you already doing this? You just weren't talking." Like, they're like, "I think you kind of were telling us about it." I was like, "Was I?" But some of my closer friends. So anyway, that's that's a little nudge if you're feeling like you're ready to kind of start sharing a little bit. It's definitely worth it. And if the people that aren't going to resonate with it, they're not resonating with the real you. And we all want the real you. That's what I think. Um, let's see. What has helped me stay centered? Honestly, doing sessions for people because of all the spiritual stuff that happened to me, I have to basically blow off steam and do these sacred soul sessions for people because otherwise it just builds up a lot. Um, yeah, any other sacred or like soul tuning in practices, basically the number one thing you need to do when life is overwhelming is get back in touch with your soul and whatever helps you do that. Uplifting books, whatever book or author helps you, it could be a sacred text, it could be anything else that helps you get back into alignment with your actual heart rather than your mental self. Not that your mental self is bad, but you really have to nourish the inner part of you as much as you can when things are overwhelming. I think that might be it. Let's see what else. So, doing your daily practice, whatever that is, meditation, prayer, centering, um, taking care of your body. So like showering, eating well. I didn't say exercise, but I have to do some form of exercise not every day, but almost every day. Um, Supportive community and like sacred texts. I've been doing a course in miracles all year with my friends. It started with me and Betty, and then a few other friends joined. Hi. And it's like, I knew that starting this year, I just was like, I have to do this book. I don't know why. And every day there's another beautiful lesson that helps. And it honestly makes me feel like I'm back in the space of my spiritual experience every time I do a lesson. Because it was exactly like what happened to me. A lot of the time it's like, oh, and I became light and I saw the void. And then I was like, oh, I'm not in this world really, but I am. So anyway. Oh, that's what I was going to say about people when you come clean or when you start to share your true self spiritually. I've been like thinking, gosh, people probably think like my regular friends think I'm really weird, but I'm like, just wait till it happens to you. Like if the Great Awakening is real, which it might be, I don't know. Um, I mean, I think what's happening, like what happened to me with the trauma and then Katrina, it's like pressure, 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 awakening. And so I think that's happening in our world, a kind of pressure, 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 awakening. So I'm just like waiting for my friends to be like, oh my goodness, Rebecca, that happened to me. Help. I'm like, oh, cool. See, I'm not so weird. Um, so we'll see. And I guess the last thing, I have not been seeing entities. Okay, sorry. I didn't want to scare people with that last Thursday video, but what I think Carrie Kay said was that the veil is really thinning. And if you're on a lower frequency, you're going to be seeing the things that vibrate with, or you can say lower frequency. Some people don't like that, but like if you're in a state of fear or anger, you might be seeing the spiritual side of that. But if you're in a state of peace and forgiveness, and it doesn't mean you have to be perfect at it, at least trying to feel loving or like be in a peaceful state and like pray. Because I've been just seeing a lot of more angels. I always said like I don't really see them, I just hear them. But like lately I've been seeing them or like having like little light orbs, and it's really beautiful. And no, I don't think it's, a part of me doesn't want to even use the term angels anymore because not many, but people will say, Satan appears as an angel of light, or like, how do you know it's an angel? And it really is the frequency. That's how you know. So if you're feeling super peaceful and loving and kind, that's what healed me. And that's what I've been seeing lately. So anyway, I think staying in that place of light, I've just been feeling and seeing it more. Like, I know the world seems really intense, but at the same time, like the light I feel, like today, just walking around my neighborhood, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's so peaceful. And that's about it. I hope y'all are feeling it too. Just definitely tune in to love. Love. That's the word I'm gonna say from now on. And then finally, the last thing I was gonna make a little joke about was everyone said the rapture was gonna be on Tuesday. Not everyone, but some people were saying that. And do you remember in a video like a couple months ago when I said, "You'll know I've been monetized if I tell you the world is ending on Tuesday?" And I just was laughing to myself. I was like, "Oh, like, I made a joke about that," but the world didn't end. But I resonate with that because when my experience finished in 2008, I was really waiting I really thought I was going to leave. And I don't even know, didn't know what the rapture was. I wasn't raised Christian. So I was like, well, I get to go now, right? Aren't I done? But no. Anyway, I resonate and I feel compassion for that concept because I saw a lot of light and then it stopped. I'm really hoping that we can bring all that light here through the love in our hearts with one another, no matter where you are. I have a lot of hope in that because I saw it. I'm not just pretending. I saw so much light and I saw so much beauty. And I'm like, okay, let's just bring that. Let's just bring that here. So I don't have to try to escape. None of us have to, I mean, I don't know. It would be nice. So I guess that's the hope. Okay, so this was my rambling video, only 16 minutes. I hope y'all have a great week and thank you for being here. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to work with you. I have some workshops coming up. You can look down there and see a few different things I have. It's an honor to hold space for you. And I think each one of you is incredibly beautiful. Okay, bye.